Hi, I'm Cassandra, and I'm here making a video about my blog, which I founded in 2006. It's called theartjournalist.com. Now, one of the things you'll find on my blog is one of my creativity prescriptions, which talks about making a power path board. So I recently had an event, and I had a friend from CanadianMarketer.ca visit, Nadine Evans, and she recently wrote an article about me and what the significance and value of creating a power path board is all about. So what I wanted to emphasize and really explain is the power path board, because it's not a very simple concept. Many of you out there have made dream boards, many of you out there have made vision boards, trying to attract to you what you like in the world. Now, a power path board is completely different. It's based on that same foundation, however, but it's very different. I use a power path board in a different way, and I'm noticing a glare, so I'm taking that off and showing you the print version. So I also have one of these on my computer. So I can click this up, I can visit my own blog if I need to look at these INGs. Active verbs are what you'll find on this board. So there's revitalizing, simplifying, being, connecting. So I purposefully made a list of the things that I need to focus on, the things that I need to invest my power in. I put them into the active form with words that I like. I like the word connecting. It makes something in my mind happy. To think about me connecting, that's a good image for me. So all of the images chosen, they're a collage of one big power path that activates my mind and says, this is really where I need to invest my power. This is really where I need to invest my energy. So, if someone is getting to me, if someone has sent me an email, I'm thinking of people who were put on the planet to drive me up the wall. Okay, so if I receive messages like that, I can then say, I'm going to switch it up. Okay, I'm going to change how I feel right now by changing my activity. I can sit around for an hour thinking about what that person did to me a million years ago, XYZ, billion different thoughts that don't serve me. But I instead have my menu. I shop through my menu. How would I like to invest my power right now? Because all of these things on here serve me. So if I decided to choose painting, right now I'm upset. Right now I'm annoyed. I could waste a lot of time thinking about the person who cut me off in traffic, for example. That's another thing. Painting. Switch on with the work. Okay, I've got to paint today. You know, that is going to make me happier. That's a better choice. So speaking, maybe writing a speech, working on a speech, making some points about a speech, that's going to be productive for me, and that's going to make me happy and feel empowered. Nesting is on here. Creating things for the home, that's going to get me farther ahead in my chores, in my list of things to do for the home. That's going to make me feel happy and empowered. Simply being still. Sometimes we need to just find a stillness moment and not do anything. That can help us to get our power back. So someone cuts me off in traffic. I come home, or I pull this up, I look at my power path board as a menu. I'm shopping. Okay, right now I'm reactionary. I'm emotional. what's going to serve me the best on here out of these INGs, out of these actions, out of these creative actions? All of these things on here are creative. Even being still, I'm creating a moment of stillness. I'm clearing my plate, I'm blanketing the slate, and I'm making everything quiet. So I'm creating this stillness moment. So someone cuts me off in traffic. Someone criticizes me. I'm nursing those emotions. Okay? I look at my Power Path board and I'm like, okay, where do I want to invest my power? It's a great menu because all of these things lead to more productivity for me. They lead to more power because I feel accomplished when I'm being productive. That to me is very empowering. So my challenge to you is to create 10 empowering actions, 10 things that make you feel good, 10 things that you like to do, that lead to you feeling more empowered. So as a stay-at-home mom, I have some props for you to show you, of course. On my videos, I always show things. So as a stay-at-home mom, from the time I gave birth on, I worked every day. I would be mixing baby bottles and also making handmade paper at the same time. That's how committed I was, but it was empowering to me. It was fueling my creativity. It was giving me an identity other than mother. So those things that I have on there, you can think of 10. I challenge you to think of 10. Another thing I did as a mom was photograph my daughter's little clothes. And these are special artsy memories, making artwork just out of our clothes. This is a simple thing that any mom out there who's a new mom can do. And I've met some new moms recently. So this is something that anyone can do, photographing those special little details in life. It takes 1 second to switch from I've just been cut off in traffic and yelled at to now I'm at home, I'm going to pick up my camera. And guess what? You have a camera with you usually all the time. So anyone can say, I'm going to switch it up to, I've got my phone, I've got my camera, and I'm going to take a picture. I'm going to take a picture of a tree. What's my favorite thing? One of my own favorite things is hydrangeas. So trees might be one of yours. Sometimes when I'm walking through shopping areas, I like to photograph the way they've done their little topiary trees. I love those topiary trees. I painted and drawn many, many, many topiary trees. So where's the other one? Okay. So another thing to do to bring you into a more peaceful state is to sketch. So I have an art journal of my own, and I don't often show my journals on my videos, but I have many sizes, many shapes. There's the mini ones. I use these more for notes, jotting down notes. And these bigger ones are great for sketches. So there's a million sketches in here of similar things that make me happy. So the doll dress from, I want to say the 50s, 60s, the classic little doll dress with the Peter Pan collar. I love that style. That's really nice for me to draw. It's really, really girlish and makes me feel not just empowered, but I feel girlish and young at heart. So that feeling gives me power. It allows me to take the power back. So by igniting any of these paths in the brain, I'm creating an avenue of power in my brain. So while revitalizing, it might not seem empowering to put a face mask on. It might not seem empowering to do your nails or do some grooming, like plucking my eyebrows, which I don't do. Just kidding, I do. So, yes. Yes, these are all things that anyone can shop for. And so, for the males in the audience, if these seem too girlish to you, I do have moving on here, moving my body as in working out, as in Zumba, as in yoga. That can mean anything that's productive. Okay, so afternoon crying or yoga class, followed by a Zumba class. See the difference? One's going to make you feel here, one's going to make you feel here. Because the endorphins are going to put you in a different state. The people, the teacher, they're going to move you into a different mood, a different mindset. So changing your mood and mindset, that is something I talk about in my philosophy called Sparkle-Centered Living, where you're pulling your emotions in. So that is a little how-to on how to do that. So pulling those emotions in, aligning yourself so that you can radiate out. That's what the sparkle is all about. The person with the sparkle in their eye, the person who doesn't need to be all talky and loud, as I've said on other videos, over the top, imposing their energy. You know, you don't have to be that way. People who are very sparkle-centered, they don't have to say a word. I said this at my event the other day, that people who are sparkle-centered walk into the room. I'm tripping on my shoelace. They walk into the room and they're very centered. They have a smile on their face, or they're very composed in their presence. So sparkle centered means becoming very aligned, becoming your best self, and then being able to radiate that out. So we're not becoming our best self and keeping it all to ourselves, because that's a little bit me. We want to be in our strongest me. We want to be in our strongest self. And not selfish self, but our self-centered self. We want to be very, very aware and caring and careful about other people too. That's a special trait of someone who is especially sparkle-centered. Because they're so centered and composed that they can quickly look around and see what's needed. A good friend of mine recently said that he makes decisions quickly. He knows what he wants. And I said, I'm the same way. So that's another aspect of becoming sparkle-centered. You can quickly identify exactly what you want, because you have gone into lots of introspection, which means looking inside, lots of what makes me happy, lots of what empowers me. So to end the video, I'm going to leave you with that idea. What makes you happy? All of these things make me happy, they give me joy, they empower me, they bring me into different states of mind where I'm being productive to myself. I'm cooperating. I'm cooperating with myself by not picking that up, letting that go. Okay, let's get that moment back. I'm cooperating by myself. I'm cooperating, with myself by investing my power into all of these things. So in the next year, if I were to schedule all of these things into my planner and say, I need to get in at least 10% of the month for each one. You could quantify things that way. I'm not good at math, so I'm not going to go too much into that. Instead, I'm going to tell you that you can schedule some of these things into your 2015. Pre-plan was one of the things that I suggested in that article on creating a board like this. So pre-planning everything. Scheduling more fun, scheduling more things that empower you, then you don't bypass it. Then you're not at June and then you're looking back saying, well, why didn't I revitalize more in the last 6 months? In the last quarter, why didn't I do more of any of these things? So if you know you've been neglecting one of these things, but you need to do it, like painting, right now in my life, I need to make major time for this. I need to block off time. So if I literally scheduled more painting time into my 2015, then I'm going to be accomplishing a lot more. It's going to be on my mind. The action, the creative action of scheduling has been made. And I'm making a point to myself. I'm trying to cooperate with myself. Because I have been called uncoachable before. Because I'm very married to my ideas. But this stubbornness about me, and maybe you've experienced that about yourself, it has to be balanced out. So lots of us like to click away on the computer. We could waste our whole next year, our whole potential for productivity doing that. But this, I promise you, will lead you to more contentment and more productivity for yourself. It will lead you to more cooperation with yourself. So I was also saying to my daughter the other day that over here we have resistance and over here we have cooperation. I need you to be more cooperative versus resistant. Many children today are very headstrong. They're not followers, they're leaders. Naturally, that's good. But sometimes we need to cooperate. So over here we have cooperation, over here we have resistance. So we need to move the negative dial over to cooperation. And that's really where we're succeeding. We're putting up our hand and we're succeeding. So I am going to leave you with those ideas.